What if the breakfasts you trust most, the ones you've been eating for years, were quietly draining the strength from your legs one morning at a time? It sounds hard to believe, but it's happening to millions of older adults across America every single day without warning. You wake up, you eat your usual breakfast, something simple, something familiar, but by mid-morning, your legs feel heavier. You try to stand, and your knees hesitate. You take a few steps, and it feels like effort. Even with sleep, even with vitamins, your strength still fades. It's confusing, it's frustrating, and no one ever told you your breakfast might be part of the problem. Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Benson, and welcome to Golden Health. For the past 25 years, I've worked with thousands of seniors across the country, many of whom were doing everything right. They were moving, eating light, taking their supplements, but they still lost strength in their legs. And what we found was simple certain breakfast habits were quietly sabotaging their muscles, especially after 60. See, after 60, your body doesn't process food the same way. Muscle cells become more sensitive. Protein absorption slows down, and some healthy foods that worked in your 40s can actually lead to muscle loss, blood sugar crashes, or even chronic inflammation in your joints. According to recent studies from Tufts University and the NIH, certain common breakfast foods are linked to reduced muscle mass, poor balance, and weaker lower body strength in older adults. But here's the hopeful part. This video isn't just about what to avoid. It's about what to eat instead. 3 simple science-backed breakfast choices that help protect your leg muscles, support better balance, and keep you strong throughout the day. They're not exotic, they're not expensive, and they're probably already in your kitchen. So before we dive in, let me know in the comments. Have you noticed your legs getting tired earlier in the day? Type 1, if yes, 0, if not yet. Either way, I'm glad you're here. And if you stick with me to the end, you'll hear about one underrated breakfast food that helps older adults build strength in just 10 days. According to a clinical trial, most people haven't even heard of. All right, let's get started. Breakfast number 1 might surprise you. The breakfast mistake number 1: toast with jam and butter. It feels harmless, comforting even. A slice of toast, lightly golden, still warm. A swipe of jam, bright, sweet, familiar. A thin layer of butter or margarine melting at the edges. For millions of older adults, this is how breakfast begins: quiet, quick, familiar. But over time, this simple combo may be doing something you never expected. It may be quietly draining the strength from your legs, bite by bite. Here's what happens. First, white toast is made from refined flour. That means it digests fast, almost like sugar. When you eat it, your blood sugar rises sharply. Add jam, a high fructose spread, and it climbs even faster. Your body responds with insulin. A lot of it. Then comes the crash. As your blood sugar drops, your body enters a stress state. It releases cortisol, a hormone that in high levels actually breaks down muscle tissue for fuel. Here's the quiet part. Toast with jam gives you almost no protein, no leucine, no essential amino acids. Which means, in the hours after breakfast, your body has nothing to rebuild with. You're not just running on empty. You're running in reverse, burning muscle instead of supporting it. And if you're using margarine instead of butter, you may also be adding trans fats. Even in small amounts, trans fats increase inflammation in blood vessels and muscle tissue. This weakens the capillaries that feed your legs and slows recovery after walking or standing. And when this happens over and over, day after day, your muscles begin to lose their edge. You may feel weaker on stairs, less steady on slopes, more tired even before lunch. The science confirms it. A 2020 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults who ate high-carb, low-protein breakfasts, like toast and jam, had 32% lower muscle protein synthesis compared to those who included just 15 grams of protein. Another study linked diets high in refined carbohydrates and trans fats, with a 36% greater risk of lower body muscle loss in people over 65. Let's meet Barbara. She's 69, retired, and lives in Ohio. For years, her breakfast was always the same: one slice of toast, a little strawberry jam, and a cup of tea. It felt light, easy, smart. But by mid-morning, her legs would feel tired. Walking to the mailbox felt harder. She started skipping her daily walks. Then, during a doctor's visit, she mentioned the fatigue. Her physician asked one question: "What do you eat before 9 a.m.?" When she changed to eggs and spinach toast, instead, things shifted. After 2 weeks, her legs didn't feel so hollow. By the end of the month, she was walking her block again twice a day. The takeaway toast with jam might feel like a gentle start. But for your legs, it can be a slow leak. No fuel, no protein, no repair. It's not about giving up bread. It's about giving your muscles what they need first thing in the morning. Coming up next, a breakfast that's marketed as healthy, but may be blocking your body from building strength altogether. The breakfast mistake number 2: cereal with skim milk. It looks healthy. It says Heart Smart on the box. It's what doctors used to recommend in the 80s and 90s. A bowl of cereal, a splash of skim milk, maybe a few sliced bananas. It feels like the right choice. But for older adults, especially those worried about strength balance and leg fatigue, this classic breakfast may not be helping. In fact, it may be quietly working against you. Let's unpack it. Step 1. Refined grains hit fast. Most boxed cereals, especially flakes, crisps, or honey types, are made from refined grains. That means little to no fiber. When you eat them, they digest quickly, turning into glucose in your blood. The faster that glucose enters, the more insulin your body must produce to handle the flood. And insulin in high amounts doesn't just handle sugar. It also blocks fat burning and interferes with how your muscles repair themselves. Step 2. Skim milk adds no fat and not enough protein. Skim milk was once considered healthier. But removing the fat also removes many of the fat-soluble vitamins and the slow-digesting energy. What you're left with is watery protein, and just 8 grams of it per cup. That's not enough to stop the muscle breakdown that happens naturally as you age, especially in the first few hours of the day when your body is most catabolic. Step 3. No leucine, no mTOR activation. Muscle maintenance depends on a trigger, and that trigger is a specific amino acid leucine. Without it, the mTOR pathway, which tells your body to build and repair muscle, stays dormant. Most cereals and skim milk don't have enough leucine to flip that switch, so your body misses its morning chance to rebuild. Step 4. Inflammation adds friction. Many flavored cereals include additives, sugars, and preservatives. These can increase systemic inflammation, especially in older adults with prediabetes or insulin resistance. And chronic inflammation doesn't just damage joints. It interferes with protein absorption and muscle recovery. What does the science say? A 2021 study in JAMA Internal Medicine tracked adults over 60 who ate high-carb, low-protein breakfasts daily. After 24 months, they showed a 1.7x higher risk of lower body muscle decline, even when total calories were matched. Another study in Frontiers in Aging showed that older adults who lacked leucine in the morning had 23% lower muscle protein synthesis despite eating enough overall protein during the day. Now, meet Glenn. He's 73, a retired teacher in Michigan. For years, breakfast was a bowl of cereal with cold skim milk, just like the ad said. He thought he was doing the right thing, but he noticed his legs weren't holding up on long walks. He started stumbling when climbing stairs. He blamed age until his grandson, a nutrition student, pointed to the back of the cereal box. Almost no fiber, just 2 grams of protein. They swapped the cereal for a veggie omelet and whole grain toast with avocado. In 3 weeks, Glenn said, "My legs finally feel like they belong to me again." The truth is, cereal with skim milk isn't evil, but it isn't enough. Not for the strength you need after 60. Not for legs that still want to carry you far. Coming up next, a breakfast that seems light and familiar, but may be stealing more from your muscles than you realize. The breakfast mistake number 3. Plain bagel with cream cheese. It feels simple. A plain bagel. A little cream cheese. Soft, chewy, comforting. Something you can eat with one hand while reading the paper. It feels light enough to not weigh you down, but filling enough to hold you over. And for older adults, it seems like a smart compromise. No sugar, no frying, no mess. Just a classic. But here's the part we rarely talk about. Bagels, especially plain white ones, are one of the most refined, high-glycemic foods in the American breakfast. Step 1. Blood sugar surge. A standard plain bagel has more refined carbs than a slice of white bread. In fact, one bagel is equivalent to about 4 slices of white bread. When you eat it, it breaks down into glucose almost immediately. Your blood sugar spikes, and your insulin surges to compensate. Step 2. The insulin block. Insulin isn't just about sugar. It plays a role in how your body handles muscle. When levels rise too fast, insulin can interfere with fat metabolism and slow down the muscle repair process. And for people over 60 whose muscle rebuilding is already slower, this matters. Step 3. No muscle signal. To rebuild or maintain muscle, your body needs a spark. That spark is leucine, a key amino acid that tells your body to activate mTOR and begin muscle synthesis. Bagels don't provide that. They're mostly carbs with almost no protein and virtually no leucine. Cream cheese adds fat, yes, but not the kind that supports recovery. Step 4. Fat plus refined carb. Inflammation. Cream cheese is high in saturated fat. When paired with fast carbs, like those in a bagel, it creates a metabolic environment that increases low-grade inflammation. This inflammation targets your joints, your blood vessels, and even your muscle fibers. Over time, that means slower recovery, more stiffness, and less strength in your legs. And the numbers, they're real. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults who ate high-carb, low-protein breakfasts experienced a 30% reduction in lower limb strength over 12 weeks. Another review from the American Journal of Geriatric Nutrition reported that combining refined starches with saturated fat at breakfast was associated with increased markers of muscle degradation and vascular stiffness. Now meet Joyce. She's 76, lives in New Jersey, and has always been light with breakfast. Most mornings, half a plain bagel, cream cheese, and some tea. But for the past year, she'd noticed her knees aching by mid-morning. Her walks grew shorter. Her legs felt tight, unsteady. At her checkup, her doctor asked one question: "Are you getting any protein before noon?" Joyce changed her breakfast, swapped the bagel for Greek yogurt, added some walnuts and a few blueberries. By week 3, she felt steadier. By week 6, she was walking her park loop again, smiling, not limping. Bagels aren't bad, but alone, they don't give your body what it needs, especially after 60. They fill your stomach, but not your muscles. And when your legs are doing their best to keep moving, they need more than comfort. They need fuel. Up next, the breakfasts that do the opposite. Simple, familiar, but built to restore, not rob your strength. Healing breakfast, number 1. Egg omelet with spinach. It's nothing fancy. 2 or 3 eggs, a handful of spinach, maybe a few mushrooms, a sprinkle of black pepper. Simple ingredients, but together they create one of the most powerful breakfasts for aging muscles. You've likely had it before, maybe as a weekend treat. But after 60, this basic omelet isn't just a nice way to start the day. It can be a quiet act of protection for your legs, joints, and circulation. Here's what makes it so powerful. Step 1. Leucine triggers repair. Each egg contains about 500 milligrams of leucine. That's the amino acid that turns on the mTOR switch, the cellular signal that tells your body, it's time to build muscle. When you combine 2 or 3 eggs, you hit the threshold that supports protein synthesis, especially in older adults. Step 2. Complete protein for muscle fibers. Eggs offer all 9 essential amino acids in a form your body absorbs easily. This is key because after 60, your digestion slows. You need protein that doesn't just look good on paper, but actually reaches your muscle fibers. And eggs do just that. Step 3. Spinach adds circulation support. Spinach may look delicate, but it's loaded with nitrates plant compounds that help open up your blood vessels. Better circulation means more oxygen, and nutrients reach your legs. It also means less stiffness after sitting and faster recovery after walking. Step 4. Anti-inflammatory nutrients. Egg yolks contain lutein, zeaxanthin, and vitamin D. Spinach brings in vitamin K, magnesium, and antioxidants. Together, they help reduce chronic inflammation that can build up in your joints and soft tissue, especially in the knees and lower back. And what about the science? A study published in the American Journal of Geriatric Nutrition showed that older adults who ate 2 eggs at breakfast had 18% greater muscle protein synthesis compared to those who had just toast or cereal. Another study from Harvard School of Public Health found that regular intake of leafy greens like spinach helped improve walking speed and lower body strength over a 12-week period, especially in adults over 65. Let's talk about Harold. He's 74, a retired postman from Oregon. For years, he skipped breakfast or just grabbed a muffin. But his legs started feeling weak, especially when standing for long periods. His daughter, a physical therapist, convinced him to try something simple, a spinach omelet, 5 mornings a week. 3 weeks later, he noticed he could stand longer without aching. After 2 months, he said, "My knees don't complain every time I get up." It wasn't magic. It was just real food used the right way. An egg omelet with spinach may not look powerful, but for your body, it's a signal. Not just to survive, but to restore. And if your legs have carried you through decades of life, it's never too late to feed them the strength to keep going. Up next, a creamy, cool breakfast that might surprise you. Packed with protein, omega-3s, and antioxidants, it works quietly to protect your muscles and keep you on your feet. Healing breakfast, number 2. Greek yogurt with walnuts and blueberries. It's cool, creamy, easy to scoop with a spoon. Greek yogurt is one of those foods that feels refreshing, especially in the morning. Add a small handful of walnuts, a few blueberries, maybe a drizzle of cinnamon. You've got a simple bowl, white swirls, with flecks of purple that works in 3 powerful directions. It feeds your muscles, it calms inflammation, and it protects your legs quietly from the inside out. Here's why it matters. Greek yogurt delivers about 17 to 20 grams of high-quality protein per cup. That's more than enough to kickstart muscle protein synthesis, especially in the post-absorptive phase after sleep. Unlike solid proteins, yogurt digests quickly and smoothly. It reaches your bloodstream fast, right when your muscles are waking up and ready to rebuild. And it's not just about total protein. Greek yogurt is rich in leucine, an essential amino acid, and a critical anabolic signal. This signal flips on the mTOR pathway, which tells your body it's time to repair. Without enough leucine, that message stays silent. Your legs don't get the cue, and the window for recovery quietly slips away. Walnuts bring something else. ALA, the plant form of omega-3. It helps reduce microinflammation in the soft tissues around your joints and muscle fibers. Meanwhile, blueberries supply anthocyanins, powerful compounds that strengthen blood vessels and enhance vascular resilience. When blood flows, better oxygen and nutrients reach your muscles faster. You feel it not as speed, but as smoothness. Less stiffness, more glide. Then there's your gut. Greek yogurt is rich in probiotics that support digestion and improve nutrient absorption, especially for minerals like calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D. These are the cofactors your muscles need to contract and relax efficiently. The better your gut absorbs them, the more stable your balance, and the more energy stays in your legs throughout the day. And the science. A 2022 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults who consumed Greek yogurt with berries each morning experienced a 22% increase in muscle recovery markers, along with a 24% reduction in CRP, a key inflammation signal. Another trial in Frontiers in Aging showed that combining dairy protein and plant omega-3s helped improve walking speed and grip strength in adults over 65. Now meet Lorraine. She's 71, lives in Arizona, and hates cooking in the morning. She used to skip breakfast, just coffee and a dry biscuit. Her knees hurt by noon. Her legs felt heavy slow. Her daughter suggested something easier: Greek yogurt, a spoonful of crushed walnuts, and 5 blueberries. Lorraine gave it a shot. By the second week, she didn't need to sit down as often. Her steps felt lighter. Her walks got longer. And now, she says it's the first breakfast she actually looks forward to. Greek yogurt with walnuts and berries doesn't just taste clean. It acts clean. It's rich, calm, and complete, like a quiet medicine for your muscles. And if your mornings feel stiff or slow, this might be the gentlest way to bring warmth and movement back into your legs. Up next, the final healing breakfast. Soft, familiar, often forgotten, but powerful enough to nourish your muscles for hours, long after the plate is empty. Healing breakfast, number 3. Cottage cheese with banana and cinnamon. It doesn't look like much. A scoop of cottage cheese, half a banana, a sprinkle of cinnamon on top. Soft, quiet, familiar. But for older adults, especially those struggling with leg fatigue or morning stiffness, this little bowl might be exactly what your muscles have been asking for. Because when you combine these 3 ingredients, something remarkable happens. You get slow-release protein, gentle blood sugar support, and a steady trickle of nutrients that rebuild muscle hour by hour. Cottage cheese is rich in casein, a slow-absorbing protein matrix that feeds your muscles over several hours. Unlike whey, which spikes quickly, casein releases amino acids gradually. This slow infusion is critical for older adults, especially in the long hours between breakfast and lunch. It helps prevent muscle breakdown during periods of light activity, walking, standing, or even sitting. Bananas provide potassium, a key mineral that supports muscle contraction and neural conductivity. Low potassium, common in older adults, can lead to cramps, heaviness, and that dragging leg feeling. Just half a banana helps replenish what your muscles use throughout the day. And because bananas are rich in natural fiber, they slow the absorption of sugar, keeping energy steadier longer. Cinnamon doesn't just taste warm and comforting. It also helps lower the postprandial glycemic load, meaning your blood sugar stays more stable. This reduces insulin spikes, inflammation, and fatigue, especially in the microcapillaries that supply blood to your legs. The combination of complete protein, key minerals, and low glycemic carbs helps maintain neuromuscular coordination. That means steadier steps, stronger grip, and more confidence on uneven ground. A study in the Journal of Clinical Metabolism found that older adults who consumed 20 grams of casein protein in the morning had 34% less muscle loss after 12 weeks compared to those with no breakfast protein. Another study showed that older adults with higher potassium intake had a 26% lower risk of leg weakness and imbalance over time. Now, meet Raymond. He's 79, a retired carpenter in Montana. He never liked big breakfasts, just toast or crackers. But his legs felt wobbly, especially on cold mornings. His doctor suggested adding protein, but he didn't want to cook. His daughter offered a simple fix: cottage cheese, half a banana, a little cinnamon. Raymond tried it. No stove, no mess. Just a bowl and a spoon. Within 2 weeks, the morning shakiness faded. He felt more grounded. His knees didn't ache after walking to the garden. It wasn't a supplement. It wasn't a pill. It was a shift, a subtle change that fed his muscles in the way they were quietly asking for. Cottage cheese with banana and cinnamon may not sound exciting, but sometimes the most familiar foods are the most powerful. And when your muscles need support, not stimulation, this might be the soft, steady fuel that helps your legs stay strong. We've all been there. Toast with jam, cereal with skim milk, a plain bagel and cream cheese. They feel easy, safe, familiar. They were never meant to hurt us. But after 60, your body hears them differently. Because what you eat each morning doesn't just start your day. It sets your chemistry. It shapes how your legs move, how long you can stand, and how steady you feel in the world. The truth is, your body isn't asking for something complicated. It's asking for something that works, like a warm omelet with spinach rich in the signals your muscles wait for. A bowl of Greek yogurt with walnuts and blueberries, cool, clean, quietly powerful. A scoop of cottage cheese with banana and cinnamon, gentle, long-lasting, no stress, no fads, no trends, just real food. At the right time, doing the right work. You don't need to give up breakfast. You just need to give your body a better one. Because the legs that have walked you through all these years still have places to go. If this helped you think differently, pass it along. Someone you love might be waking up to the same quiet mistakes, and one small shift might just help them feel stronger than they have in years.